Adrian, of course, will be here, and I mean, I've spoken to Adrian quite a lot, of course, over our time together in the team. But he was like, the kind of like mentor, kind of, like you could discuss a lot of things with him, and he had a lot of experience, from back in the day already. So yeah, for sure, it's not nice seeing him leave.
Max Verstappen, welcome back to the Fast and the Curious.
Yeah, thank you.
It's lovely to have you back on. Last time you were on this podcast, you amused our listeners greatly by taking the mickey out of me for, in my Zoom background, having a Mercedes t-shirt visible, even though there was a signed Max Verstappen cap visible, so I made sure that there's no other branding from another team here this time. I hope you appreciate the effort we've gone to.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, you did come in with a Pepsi, but that's okay.
Oh no, I've made another rookie error. Yeah, I've just rushed over from having lunch. Sorry. You've got a Red Bull on the go, which you've just grabbed an actual Red Bull from the fridge. How much do you go through?
Well, to be honest with you, when I'm at home, not so much. But like days like today, because you're walking around quite a bit. I don't mind like having 3 of them, maybe.
3 of them. I would be bouncing off the walls. Whenever I visit your guys' base in Milton Keynes, you guys look after us so well with really nice coffee and fridges of them everywhere. I come away physically shaking. Have you become accustomed to it over the years?
I guess so. I mean, I already, like before I even signed to Red Bull, I used to have like 1 or 2 here and there, whenever, or traveling with my dad in the van, when you had like long nights to cover. But then, of course, once you sign with them, it's for free, so you can take as much as you want, really.
Is that the best thing about being a Formula One driver? Free Red Bull.
It helps.
It helps.
Yeah.
My first question about on-track stuff was going to be, like, we've got people who are newer to Formula One who listen to this podcast, and I find myself as the resident F1 geek having to explain how impressive what you're doing is, and people don't take it for granted. And every time there's an opportunity for mistakes, they just don't tend to happen. Safety car restarts, changeable conditions. You seem to be invincible. How do you keep concentration? How do you make sure that these mistakes just don't happen? I think that's almost the bit that fascinates me most.
Yeah, well, I mean, mistakes do happen, and no one is a robot. But I keep trying, of course, not to, keep reminding myself, like, try not to make these mistakes. And of course, I've made mistakes in my career in Formula One, but I think with more and more experience as well, you probably are a little bit more in control.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You said to me when you won your first world title that you weren't necessarily fussed about chasing records, about going for 7, 8, 9. Has that changed at all? With all the speculation about the future of the sport and people moving around, do you still see yourself part of this sport long term? Now you've won 1, 2, 3. Do you want to go for more?
I mean, I don't know what long term means for you. Well, how many years is that?
I don't know.
10 years?
I know you've said you're not going to be around as long as Fernando is.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, do you see yourself in F1 in 10 years?
No.
That's interesting.
No.
Why do you think you'll do it for less time than people we see? Nico Hülkenberg, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso. What is it that
I just want to also do other things in life. I've basically been living off a fixed schedule since I was like 12, I would say, like fully internationally. And you knew exactly how your year more or less was going to look like, where you were going to be every single week or not. I do love racing a lot. I do love Formula One. But I do think that at one point, for me, it's enough. And that then comes also back to, like, I don't need to win 8 titles. Like, I'm already really happy with what I have done so far, which is something, that I never thought was possible anyway in the first place. So I exceeded that by far. I just want a bit more peace, a bit more quiet at one point. Just spend more time with my friends and family, and not when I'm 50, a bit more in my prime when I'm still able to do all the fun things and live life, because we're only here once. That's what I believe.
Me too.
And I don't want to spend at least half of that racing cars 24 times a year. So
you mentioned the schedule. Those long flights must get you. What do you watch films on them? Do you listen to music?
Yeah, I mean, for sure that helps. Wi-Fi in the planes nowadays.
That helps, doesn't it?
That helps me a lot as well, because I'm of course not only busy with Formula One. My hobby, of course, is also sim racing, and being fully involved with that. Being on top of things, trying to get the best out of the drivers, and it's a full-time effort, really.
Yeah. Do you watch much film and TV?
I don't. Well, I only watch like sports on the TV.
So you're not a big like fiction film fan or anything like that?
I mean, I watch movies here and there for sure, but I don't watch like the regular TV. It's just like either sports or like movies or series.
I can't not ask you about the stuff going on around F1 at the moment, as obviously with Adrian's announcement happening this weekend. How do you see that affecting you? Have you had a chance to speak to Adrian at all?
No, I mean, Adrian, of course, will be here, and I mean, I've spoken to Adrian quite a lot, of course, over our time together in the team. But he's been a legend of the sport. I think he was already incredible before he even got to Red Bull. So of course, then starting a new challenge with Red Bull and what he has achieved is of course incredible. I do think that over the years, of course, his role has changed a little bit within the team.
It's not all going to be on one man.
Exactly, but. He was like the kind of like mentor, kind of like you could discuss a lot of things with him, and he had a lot of experience from back in the day already. So yeah, for sure, it's not nice seeing him leave, but I also told him, like, at the end of the day, you have to do what you think is best for yourself and your family, right? Like we're not going to tell you that you have to stay if you don't want to stay.
No, sure.
So live your life. If you think you have to go.
Yeah, sure.
That's how I see it also with other people, not only Adrian. If people don't want to be here or they want a different challenge, go for it. Whatever makes you happy, that's what you should do.
That's nice. It doesn't change your feeling about the team at all.
No, and also not my feeling towards Adrian, because I have a great relationship with him, and I will always have a great relationship with him whenever I will see him, if that's back in the paddock here or whatever he's going to do. So yeah, nothing really changes, and at the same time, I also really trust the technical team that we have.
Yeah, sure. Stories like that create so much gossip around the sport. I have to be honest, it's one of the reasons I love the sport. Even when I was growing up watching it, you had people like Ron Dennis and chatting away. I've always quite enjoyed it. As a driver, how much of the sort of politics, the drama, the gossip do you consume? It fascinates me because not many sports have as much gossip as this one does.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is different in that. I think I'm pretty relaxed. I know what I want, and that's of course the fastest car, the fastest team. That's where I am at the moment. Of course, it's very important always, to have a good environment, which I think we have at the moment. But the other with the gossip, like I have no time for it. Also, like when I'm at home, I don't want to know anything about Formula One unless it's related to my team. That's what I discuss. But I really also value my private time, so I prefer not to see anything. Like I don't really follow a lot of F1 related things. It's more like football, MotoGP, just things that interest me.
And I've heard of sports people in the past having like secret Instagram and TikTok accounts and things like that. It doesn't strike me you'd be anywhere near that.
No, I prefer then not to look at it and make up. Like I don't like to be involved with making up the stories and stuff.
Very quickly before you go, because you're a busy man. We asked our listeners for their favourite Max Verstappen memes. I don't know how many you see of these on social media. I'm guessing not many. I really enjoy this one. This is F1 rookies. Finally in F1, can't wait to get my first win. And it's just you holding a flag in front of them. Do you ever see any of these? There's another one, point of view. Google Maps says you 10 minutes to get there, and you get there in 9, and it's your face. These must be fun to see occasionally. How often do you see these?
I mean, some of my my friends, they sometimes send me like links or whatever.
That one as well. Max, apparently you explain things to Charles a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I like to explain with my hands. When people ask me stuff. Yeah.
What you're doing is truly special. It's so special to watch, and I hope you're enjoying it as much as we are watching it. So thanks for taking the time, Max, and obviously go well this weekend.
Thank you.